What's up? What's up? What's up, y'all? Welcome to Shades Tube Late Night Owls Talk Time. Let me turn this TV down. I forgot to do it. Because they would have a copyright claim on the damn noise in the background, the TV. But anyway, welcome, you guys. Happy and blessed Tuesday. It is almost Christmas, and I hope you guys have, you guys are having a great holiday season, and hopefully you get your shopping done and your grocery shopping done and just enjoy the holiday. All right. Now let's go ahead and do this copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. That entire copyright disclaimer is in my description area, and part of it is scrolling across that screen. Guys, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, share, and leave a comment. You can also hype this video up if you watch this in the replay. If you want to show additional support for this channel, feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation at $ShadesTube, or you can copy yourself a membership for $4.99 per month. Thank you guys so much, and we are going to go ahead and get started with this live. Y'all go get you something to drink and relax in seat bed or whatever. If you are at work, attend to do your job, or watch or listen to me on the down low. Again, happy and blessed Tuesday, you guys, and let's go ahead and do this live. So anyway, let me mute this a little bit. I'm not muted, but let me turn it down a little bit. Seems like it's kind of loud on my end. Let's turn it down to 10. Okay. So anyway, we are going to go ahead and finish our discussion updates on Rob Reiner, his son, Nick, and just everything in dealing with them in that case, okay? Let me see here. What did I do? All right, so let me go ahead and get my information, you guys. So we do have some updates, okay? And tonight we're going to talk about, allegedly, I guess this is true, okay? We're going to talk about Nick Reiner's days in solitary confinement at the Rodent Infested prison. And this is according to the Mirror, okay? The Mirror. So like I said, I don't know if this is 100% true, so we're going to say allegedly. Anyway, they say he is reportedly being held in solitary confinement under S watch at the rat-infested Twin Towers Correctional Facility in Los Angeles. And I think on Friday or whatever day I did that live, we tried to look at the Twin Towers, and we looked at it a little bit, and I told you a little stuff about it, okay? Anyway, Reiner, 32, was booked into the downtown LA facility on December the 15th, one day after his parents were found unalive in their Brentwood home. As you guys already know, he has been charged with 2 counts of alleged first-degree murder, along with a special allegation of using a knife. Prosecutors are potentially pursuing special circumstances that make him eligible for the you-know-what penalty or life without parole. Authorities say Reiner is isolated in a single cell with no access to other inmates and no phone privileges. So he's in solitary confinement. So the inmates there, you guys, are usually in a 1 or 2 person cell under continuous observation. They often spend over 23 hours a day confined to cramped concrete rooms. Gosh. They said most of the people sleep on thin pads laid over slabs. Some wear heavy blue anti-S smocks with nothing underneath, like I told you guys the other day. Let's see what else we got here. So for as far as Nick, only his attorney and certain jail personnel are permitted to speak with him. He is also reportedly escorted by a sergeant equipped with a body camera anytime he leaves the cell for court or medical reasons. Wow, the life he chose for himself. They said this is important so that no one can compromise his high profile case and so that no civilian or inmate can ask him questions, such as why he unalived his parents. And this is according to a law enforcement officer. Okay. So they did put him on the S watch because they claim he posed a mental health risk. So a supervisor checks on him every 15 minutes. He is served meals alone with food trays passed directly into his cell. And they say he will remain on the S watch until a doctor clears him, which could take a long time depending on his mental health. And they said that his intake and screening process was expedited and completed in less than 4 hours. They said this usually takes about 24 hours. Okay. So let's see what else they got here for him. Okay, that's what you said. You said, I hope they keep him there. He is on, you know what, watch? S, when people take their life, you can't say that word on YouTube. I wonder if he even remembers doing it. I don't know. He may have been high on something. He might remember taking his parents' life. I don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? I do not know. Because they haven't really released much about this dude. They haven't I don't even think they really know everything that happened, in that house before he unalived his parents. So let's see. So according to Fox News, if we can believe them, Reiner's defense attorney confirmed that an insanity plea is being weighed as the case moves into the discovery phase. The discussion comes after reports that Nick had been diagnosed with schizophrenia and had recently begun new medications before the unalivings. Okay, so he probably will use that. And since he had got new medication for his condition, all right, and they said that medication could become a very important, defense, I guess. It could be used for the prosecutors in the defense. The defense would probably say that medicine, if they look up that medication and just say some of the side effects involved doing weird stuff like unaliving someone, they may use that as a defense. Okay. I don't know what kind of medication he takes. We can't even look it up. But just say if that medication has a side effect of, hallucinating, urges to, do something violent or anything like that, I mean, they could possibly use that. So even in that movie he was in, he talked about feeling overwhelmed by his own mind. Okay. So he was basically struggling with mental, health, So if they do decide to use that as a defense, the defense team would need to prove that Nick couldn't understand the nature of his actions. They would also need to show that he couldn't distinguish right from wrong at the time of the unalivings. The high burden of proof would rely heavily on medical records, expert testimonies, and Nick's diagnosis and treatment timelines. Okay, so as of now, prosecutors have not commented on the potential defense strategy. Instead, court filings have so far focused on procedural matters. Okay. So again, I'm thinking that his attorneys may try to do that, especially if his medical records supports that, and like I said, if there are side effects with the medication that he has that may cause him to hallucinate and maybe possibly, do something very violent. Who knows? But we will find out soon. Okay, soon enough. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, let's see what else I got. I think that's it for him as of right now. Now, let me make sure, because they basically are just going around repeating the same thing over and over again. So, like I said, his next court date will be January the 7th, 2026. And I'll definitely have updates when that happens. I don't see too much more happening between now and then with the holidays upcoming and things of that nature. So I think I covered everything about this. I don't really want to be doing like, what I think happened or anything like that, because we really don't know. You know what I'm saying? And some people are coming up with all this weird stuff, but there's no proof of anything they're saying. So I can't basically do that over here on this channel. Okay. Now, let me make sure I got everything for them. I think I do, though. Let me look on my other phone real quick. Let's make sure. Let's see. I think I covered everything, though. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Okay. That is it with that, with the updates with him. Because everything else I covered. Okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so y'all just let me know in the comment section what y'all think about that case. Do you think Nick could use that insanity plea? Okay, do y'all think he was extremely high or on something? Or do you think he had just like a mental breakdown? Or do you think it's a combination? Do you think that stuff is what, happened when he unalived his parents? And we do know that some medications for schizophrenia do cause some really really tripped out side effects. Let me just tell y'all a few real quick. Let me see. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Excuse me, y'all. It's spelled schizophrenia. Schiz. Okay, let's see here. So they got drowsiness, dry mouth, dizziness, weight gain, constipation, blurred vision, and X-ray problems. Now, some of the serious risks are movement disorders, metabolic issues like high blood sugar and cholesterol, hormonal changes, heart problems like myocarditis. And I don't see anything about making somebody do some, well, here you go right here. Let's see. I still say got some of them are neurological and physical side effects, gastrointestinal side effects, and we already covered all of those. Let's see what else they got here. I don't see anything about that, but I mean, it could be. I mean, they may not be covering everything, but let's see. Yeah, let me see. Let me ask another question here. Hold on, y'all. If they do use that defense in them, and if they can't find on side effects that cause, a person to unalive someone to become violent or anything like that, they won't be able to use those drugs as a defense. They say it actually reduces violence. Okay. And so when people are off that medication, they're more prone to be violent versus when they're on that medication. Yeah. Because a lot of people who be on it, they be paranoid. Okay, paranoia. I think that's how you pronounce it like that, somewhat like that. Psychosis and substance misuse. Was he taking his medication? I wonder, did he actually take his medication? Because they say when you take the medication, it actually decreases, it reduces the violence. But when you don't take it, now they did say, wait a minute, hold on. They did say some antidepressants have warnings about aggression. I did say that. But if it's not treated, if you don't take your medication, you can have psychosis, you can be paranoid, substance misuse. If you're not taking your medication, or if it's the wrong type of medication, or you're not taking it the correct way. Now let's see what aggression is. Let me see in schizo people. Let's see what they say. Well, so you know what? This may be a defense. Okay. If the medication, that he just got prescribed, it has some type of side effect like aggression, they said in schizophrenia, it can sometimes lead to violence, but it is rare. So, like I said, it's going to be a trip. They said most people with schizophrenia are not violent and are more likely to be victims of crime, with violence often linked to untreated symptoms. Like if they're on drugs, if they have a history of violence or a lack of insight, something like that. But they did say effective treatment significantly reduces risk, and warning signs often involve specific delusions like being paranoid, substance misuse, or threats. And Nick was doing that. So I'm wondering, they said they just changed his medication. Maybe it wasn't working correctly, or maybe enough wasn't in the system, or I'm asking if he actually was taking it. Because that would definitely play a role in the way he was acting if he wasn't taking the medication, or if he wasn't taking it correctly, or it's just a new medication in his body. It hasn't regulated in the body yet, or something like that. I don't know. Because I know one thing, when they try to call the police at that party, they should have went on let them call the police. For real, for real. Sometimes it's good just to do that. You said you think he's just going to get a life sentence ×2. You said seems like it, but unlikely. About the defense, insanity defense, right? See, when they don't take their medications, they can do the psychosis, okay? That's like they'll usually hear stuff like they'll hear voices telling them to hurt someone, or they'll feel like somebody is spying on them, okay? Or if that medication is not working correctly, or they're not taking the medication correctly. They say a lot of these people lack of insight. They don't recognize they have that illness. Here you go. Specific delusions. They can have paranoia, conspiracy, or being spied on, especially when when they are angry at the same time. Okay. Damn, I know somebody to fit into on listen 100%. They also said people who have that are more prone to self-harm than harming others. But some of them do commit violent acts, but a lot of them don't. That's what they're saying right here. So it is what it is. So like I said, his lawyers know what to do, and I don't know exactly what they're going to do, but the lawyers know, and they will make the best decision for him. And I will keep you guys updated, like I said before. Y'all can leave comments in the comment section. Anytime you guys hear me replace words, it's because YouTube does not allow us to say certain words, okay? Point blank. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to some breaking news real quick, all right? Let me go ahead and put this up here now. Make sure y'all thumbs up too, okay? Thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I don't know what my thing. Here it is right here. All right, so anyway, let me tell y'all this. This dum-dum sitting up here then stole $8,000 in fake return schemes, okay, at Papa John's, okay? So let me show y'all this dude. Actually, I guess I could just, let me see if I can get his name. Let me do this first. Let y'all see a video here real quick instead of me telling you about it. It's more fun when you watch a video on it. Okay, let me type this in here. What's this dude's name? His name is Eric, whatever. I don't even know what his last name is. Can't pronounce it. Hall something. Hall with Cleary. I don't know. This is a weird little last name. Okay. Okay, let's see. This dude did fake returns. So this is not the dude right here. That's not the dude. I put his name up and it still doesn't come up. So I'll just tell you guys about it real quick, okay? Okay, because we got all night. So anyway, police arrested a Jupiter man, accusing him of pocketing $8,499 in fake refunds from Papa John's over 10 months. So anyway, the police started investigating a Papa John's employee, 37-year-old Eric H., for stealing from the pizza spot from October 2024 to July 2025. So let's see what this character was doing. Anyway, oh no. Anyway, oh my God, this reads this shit. These damn ads got to go. Oh man, let's reload that. So anyway, the supervisor of the Papa John's told police that manager had alerted him to the long-time employee's suspicious behavior. I done told y'all, when people be suspicious of things, that's when they start investigating. They said he often refunded orders and kept the money for himself. And during the 10 months, the supervisor said he pinpointed 226 transactions cashed out by this dude. He was also allegedly altering the deposit forms to reflect the store having the correct amount. So in July, the general manager texts the dude saying that the report he sent would likely lead to the store supervisor figuring out his scheme. You have like 50 refunds since the beginning of the period, and they are all under your number. That is not good, dude. You are literally the only one besides System that even has any, and it's well over $1,000. And that's what the manager said, or a text to him. The conversation continued with the manager telling this dude that the amounts he stole would amount to felony counts. And then the dude who stole the money said, yeah, my dog's going to pass and I'm going to jail. He said, F me. So anyway, they did add up everything and found out that he allegedly stole more than $8,000. So the police, I guess, came to pick him up in August, but he wasn't there. The only thing he left behind was his lawyer's business card, and then the trail went cold. But this past Thursday, authorities say they caught up with him with Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office deputies booking him on counts of grand theft and defraud to obtain property value less than $20,000. That's what I'm talking about. If you know that you did a crime and they're looking for you, if you get away, why would you commit another crime so you can get caught? That's stupid. Let me show y'all this dude. He's an idiot. A straight idiot. If you know that the police is already on your track looking for you, why would you go and steal and do other things when you get away? If you got away, you should just be laying low, get your regular job, because it's not like his picture was plastered everywhere. And just basically lay low. But these people do weird shit and then get mad when the police come and catch their ass. It's crazy. I don't know what's wrong with them. Okay? Anyway, let's go to the next story that I have. Oh, that's just stupid, man. $8,000+, okay? That's crazy, man. A lot of people doing credit card scams too, okay? Yeah, a lot of people are. Okay, let me say this real quick, y'all, for a minute. Hold on. Let me go back. Let me do this. Hold on, you guys. 1 second. Okay, now let me go ahead and see what else I got. Okay, let me do this real quick. Okay, I'm gonna be reading something else. Let's see what we else we got here. Hold on for 1 second, you guys. Mm-mm-mm-mm. So I don't know if y'all know that TikTok is being sold to U.S. investors. Okay, so let's see what they say in here real quick. So they just signed a deal to sell part of its U.S. business to a joint venture. All right, primarily controlled by American investors. The closing date for the sale is January 22, 2026, and the terms give U.S. investors full control over the TikTok algorithm in app decision making. So they're still trying to make sure that this deal meets the terms of, the bill banning the app, or if China will publicly sign off on the transaction. So let's see. So if they do that deal, it will see Silver Lake, Oracle, I guess that's how you said it, and MGX hold 15% of the new company, with ByteDance keeping 19.9% ownership. Another 30.1% will reportedly be owned by affiliates of current ByteDance investors. The terms of the deal are said to create a 7-member board of directors for the new TikTok joint venture, with majority American members. So let's see what they said will happen to with these. So let's see here. So anyway, the new company, they said, will will retrain the content recommendation algorithm on U.S. user data to ensure the content feed is free from outside manipulation, according to Chew's memo. They said the joint venture will have ultimate decision-making authority for reviewing and approving all content moderation and related policies within the United States. In other words, if you are in the US, your TikTok feed may start to look different early next year if this deal closes. This deal will also mandate the storing of US users' data in a trusted and secure cloud environment in the United States run by Oracle. I think that's how you pronounce that. ORACLE. All right. So if that deal goes through, they said that people in the U.S. could see a different algorithm sometime in January. All right. Now they did say China could block the deal from closing. In the past, U.S. President Trump said that Chinese President Jinping signed off on the deal, but this has not been officially confirmed by the Chinese government. And then they said it also remains to be seen whether the signed deal meets the conditions of the congressional bill banning TikTok. So we will see sometime in January if this deal goes through, and how and what changes may happen besides the algorithm. We will see. Okay, what time is it? Okay, one more news story. So check this out: Jeffrey Epstein files. It shows late P kissing and cuddling little girls in disturbing new video. Okay. And P is for PEDO, you know. So let's see here. So they say he was spotted cozying up to little girls in new photos exposed by the Department of Justice. He was kissing and cuddling children, of all of whom appeared much younger than the underage teenagers the disgraced financier admitted to paying for intercourse during a 2008 plea deal. They said one chilling photo hung on a wall pictured a naked infant taking a bath in a sink, while the other disturbing images were displayed on a bookshelf inside of Epstein's mansion on Little St. James Island in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So they did not show the kids for, obvious reasons and stuff. Um, but they did say Epstein could clearly be seen in one photo wearing a robe with his eyes closed as he snuggled a little blonde girl on a striped couch. They also showed a young child sitting on the late criminal's lap while he smiled while he was on his private jet. It says he had his arm wrapped around the girl's stomach as she held his hand in a light blue sweatshirt. In a different picture, a small kid was sitting next to Epstein on a plane as he turned to her and puckered his lips. Another image featured him staring directly at the camera while kissing the head of a little girl who appeared to have her red hair tied in pigtails. It's unclear who any of these children are or if they happen to be one of Epstein's victims. Now, they said early enough, a whistleblower once tried to warn the FBI in 1996 about Epstein's gross interest in child sexual abuse material. At the time, authorities allegedly did not do anything with the information. They also had a 1996 child abuse complaint about him as well, okay? Maria Farmer, who was hired by Epstein to help purchase art, she filed a complaint against him in Palm Beach, Florida on September 3rd, 1996. However, Epstein did not face legal consequences for at least another decade. Anyway, Farmer long insisted she tried not only warning police about Epstein's stomach-turning interest, but about his and Ghislaine Maxwell's concerning predatory behavior. Her complaint wasn't confirmed publicly by the FBI until it was included in the recently released Epstein files. So, like I said, they had a lot of redactions. I think that's how you said that, which was stripped out. And they claim they did that to protect the potential victims, okay? Nah. So they got all types of pictures and stuff, him, especially with all these little kids and stuff. And they got all types of pictures. And that looked like a little kid on the couch over there. I can't tell for sure. Yeah, that is a kid's leg on the chair. A lot of little kids. So that's crazy. Anyway, I don't know who these kids were or anything. I don't know if he did anything with them or was abusing them or what, but that's weird. That's crazy. What? Let me read this. This late husband. So wait a minute, hold on. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. So Anthony Geary from General Hospital, he was GAY. It says here Anthony Geary's husband, Claudio Gamma, is speaking out for the first time since Anthony Geary passed on. Goodness, y'all know he passed on last week due to complications from a scheduled medical procedure. Okay. So his husband actually wrote, a message, right? And I guess he's in Amsterdam. So yeah, so I guess he was, but I did not know this. So this is Claudio. Okay. God, Anthony Geary back in the day used to be fine and shit. He still looked all right to be older. This is his husband. I didn't know he was GAY, man. It's a trip how you find out stuff about people. He kept that shit a secret for a long time. Goodness. Hmm. Hold on, I made a mistake and clicked on the wrong thing. He says the husband said it was a shock for me and our families and our friends. Okay, he said for more than 30 years, Tony has been my friend, my companion, my husband. They met in 1995 and they married in 2019. He used to play. Anthony Geary used to play Luke Spencer on General Hospital from 1978 to 1984. I used to watch it in 1980 something, and 1993 onwards. So he retired in 2015 and made his final appearance on May 2017. I remember when him and Jeannie Francis married on General Hospital. That was the biggest. Damn, that was the biggest viewership that you could see. 30 million people watched that. I remember that. I did not know he was GAY though, for real. Somebody said this one caught me off guard. I didn't know he was GAY. I didn't either. I mean, he played. You could have never guessed it. That's tripped out. Let me see what these other people said in the comment section, for real. Somebody said, "Are you a man?" No one but Geary and Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch had perms, and they were both GAY. I didn't know. Just because somebody got a perm doesn't mean they GAY. A lot of people said the perm was a giveaway, but just because somebody got a perm, it doesn't mean they are GAY. Everybody's saying, wait, huh? Luke was GAY? Who would have thought? They say Anthony Geary was GAY, Luke was straight. So, what's his name? Ian was GAY as well? Goodness. That's why I didn't know he was. That was the dude. He used to play on I forgot which one. One Life to Live with the General Hospital. Buchanan. Ian or Ian Buchanan, however you say his first name. Back in the 80s, they didn't come out and say that they were GAY. Yeah, when I used to get out of school, I used to go watch General Hospital in 1981. And did not know he was GAY, but he, still good. A lot of people say they did not know. They are surprised. I wish they would have told us what type of surgery, what kind of complications he had from what type of surgery. Just tripped out, man. Just learned some new information. You knew, because I definitely didn't know shit. But, back in 81, I wouldn't have been thinking about that in the first place. Yeah, I wouldn't have been thinking about that. Even paying attention to anything. Well, even though the surgery complication happened, he still was blessed. 78, to live with 78 is a blessing. Okay? So again, rest in peace, and my condolences to his family and friends and fans. Gosh. Didn't know this dude was looked at. Oh wow. So he had he had complications from a scheduled operation days prior. Okay. I thought him and Jeannie Francis were dating for real at one time. Anyway, it is what it is. Gosh, that's tripped out. But anyway. So I think that's going to be it with the breaking news, you guys. Make sure y'all be checking the recall list to see what they have, because every day is something. Let me just tell y'all this one last story real quick. So let's see where this was at, though. Oh, actually, I don't want to say this. This is a whole different country. I don't even know why they be telling us about stuff in different countries. They claim Jake Paul reportedly banned from boxing. Why? So he had an automatic suspension. Okay, because of rules from the Florida Athletic Commission, which sanctioned the fight. Okay. So he's been suspended for 60 days. FAC rules automatically ban a fighter who loses via a knockout. Okay. He said he wasn't coming into the ring no time soon. That's what he said. He may be saying it because he know he's suspended, but I mean, I don't know. Anyway, you guys, that's a trip. Let's see what they're talking about right here. Hold on. Check this out before we get ready to leave. A boyfriend bought lottery tickets, right? Then he went back to work after he unalived his girlfriend and folded her up into a suitcase. This is why I tell you have to check out people, because you never know what type of lunatic you can get involved with. This Georgia man told cops he unalived his girlfriend after she started disrespecting him by calling him names, vulgar names, and beating and strangling her to unaliving before wrapping her up in a comforter and stuffing the woman into a suitcase. He then left for work and went to buy lottery tickets. Okay, that's crazy. Frederick Durham of Upson County was found last week of malice murder, felony murder, aggravated assault, and concealing the unaliving of another in connection with the brutal slaying. He was sentenced to serve life in prison without parole. He unalived his girlfriend back in 2023 in October. That is sad, man. This man is crazy. What did he say? They said, per the defendant's own confession, he claimed that Mrs. Dubion was disrespecting him by calling him vulgar names and that she would not stop fussing at him. His response was to hold her down with his left hand while he beat her about the head with his right hand. Anyway, the lady suffered numerous injuries, including bleeding on the brain, swollen eyes, broken ribs, broken cervical bones. He strangled her to you know what after the beatdown and then folded her up into a suitcase. After leaving the suitcase in the closet, he went to work, went to buy lottery tickets, and then went to Atlanta in the victim's car. He told the police he was not sure if she was alive or unalive when he put her in the suitcase, but when pushed on the issue, he would not give the family peace with a definite answer. So anyway, I guess her relatives was the one who notified the police after she disappeared on October the 20th, 2023. So they did a welfare check, but they didn't see, this woman or her boyfriend. So the family went over to the couple's apartment and found their relative in the closet, in the suitcase, okay? They said that she had a malignant and abandoned heart. They said he left this woman in a suitcase and refused to give this family an answer on whether she was alive or unalive when he did so. Okay? They said this was an evil act from a person who had no compassion for the family. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Let me show you what this weirdo looks like. And then he's too damn old. This dude, I don't know how old this dude is. I don't think they told us. So you got to watch who you date. I'm telling you. Okay. All right. So anyway, my condolences are expressed out to her family, and her friends and stuff. And my prayers are extended out to them. And hopefully, justice has been served on him. Okay. Maybe further justice will be served on this man. That's cold-blooded. Just because she was calling him names and hollering, he should have just left. Just leave. Leave her and be done with the relationship. Why unalive her? That's dumb. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me take this banner down real quick. And I'll be back tomorrow night. Now on Christmas, I will not be doing a live on Christmas, okay? But I will be back on that Friday, and I'll do it live tomorrow and Wednesday night. And probably, I don't know if anything else, I will update you guys on Reiner case, unless something new comes up. We'll talk about something else tomorrow, probably true crime or missing person, something else. But I'll still incorporate Reiner into this live if any updates or if anything I need to clarify or go over again. All right. So anyway, let me go ahead and put all this stuff up here because it is what it is. Y'all make sure y'all thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you can be notified of any upcoming videos. Make sure you share and leave a comment. And y'all, if you see that, if you push over the comment, if you slide the comment area over, after you watch a video at the bottom, you can see a hype button. You can hype my video up. You get 3 hypes per week, I believe. So make sure you hype one of Shay's 2 videos. And y'all make sure y'all check out my other videos. If you watch Country Wayne if you watch Country Wayne skits, check out my reaction videos, which comes on Monday through every day. And I do the reaction lives like early in the afternoon, and then one time per day, I'll do a pre-recorded reaction. Okay. And then make sure y'all check out my Dollar Tree hauls, which comes on usually on Saturdays and Wednesday. I got to upload the other one again because I don't know why I didn't upload So check those out and check out my YouTube shorts because I'm always doing some crazy stuff. Usually Monday through Friday, Dollar Tree hauls and stuff like that. And then on Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, I be trying to do these challenges and things of that nature. Just having fun. You know what I'm saying? Just having fun. Like I said in these thoughts, do something that makes you happy with it and live your life in happiness. Okay? Do that all the time. So y'all have a blessed night. And make sure y'all check out my other videos. Make sure that you thumbs up before you go. And that's going to be it. All right. And I'll see y'all again tomorrow with another Night Owl Talk Time. I think that's the name of it. I always forget the name of all these things. And let me put this back on. And if you watch Country Way, check me out tomorrow early afternoon. So it's Shades 2, Late Night Owls Talk Time. I had it right. Okay, I had it right. Thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this on replay over here in the chat. We got Jermaine in the place to be. Thank you, Jermaine. All right. And I appreciate you guys. Okay. Y'all take care. Good night, people.